Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Maxine. I have Avoidant Personality Disorder and ADHD, and I hope you guys had a good holiday. If you didn't, it's over. We made it. So either way, I hope we're all in good spirits. Today I'm finally going to be talking about something that I've been alluding to over the last few videos, which is this challenge that really only a couple of us right now are doing in the Discord. I hope more people join before the first. But it's okay. Either way. And it's like a little bit of an exposure therapy situation. So I'm going to be talking about what I'm going to be doing for that today, and my other goals for 2024. But to start, I want to talk a little bit about this idea of exposure therapy and why I want to do this and why I think it's very important for those of us with avoidant personality disorder in our growth. So several videos ago, I talked about confidence and building confidence and how I think that that is sort of the secret to getting better with avoidant personality disorder. Of course, our disordered behavior is rooted in this lack of self-esteem and this lack of confidence. And in that video, I talked about how you build confidence by basically becoming the person that you can be proud of, that you want to be. And how it's really not about trying to appeal to others or what other people think of you or the validation you're receiving from others. It comes from within. And all of that is still very true and relevant to this video. But the specific things that I had mentioned doing in that video and the things that I've sort of been trying to do to build my confidence up until now have been very much still within the safety of my little bubble here at home. And I think you can really only get so far doing it that way because, at least for me, the type of person that I want to be, the one that I can be proud of, has to do things outside of this house. And I just haven't really been ready to go there yet. But if you look at avoidant personality disorder in the context of, say, a phobia, how do you treat a phobia? You expose yourself to the things that you are afraid of. You allow yourself to feel that discomfort and survive it, basically. And the more that you do that, the more you desensitize yourself to that stress. And for me, in my life, I have, for the last many years, basically been doing the opposite of that. I've been really accommodating my discomfort. I've gotten to the point where I just have zero tolerance at all for discomfort. I live my life in such a way that my top priority always is comfort, physical comfort, and mental and emotional comfort. That's my number one priority, and it has been for a long time. And the unfortunate outcome of that is that I've gained this heightened sensitivity to discomfort. So I was always quite uncomfortable driving, so I started driving less and less and less and less. And the less that I drive, the more uncomfortable I am driving. the less social I am, the more uncomfortable I feel being social. And I think that's why so many of us with avoidant personality disorder got so much worse after the pandemic, because although we loved it in the moment because we were able to accommodate this discomfort that we were always feeling, we have sensitized ourselves to that sort of stimuli, and it's just made us worse, basically. So I think there's a balance to it, because I think if you push yourself too hard, like many of us, maybe before we realized we had AVPD, we were trying to and some of us still might have like a job that we go to every day, and these like social engagements that we have no choice in being a part of. And for me, when I was working every day, while I was in some ways better able to manage the discomfort because I just had no other choice and it was like normal to me, I also ended up in these like really serious burnouts. I kind of almost feel like I've been in an extended burnout for years now. So I think there's a balance to it, between accommodating your discomfort and also challenging yourself. But for me, at this point in my life, I have not been challenging myself in any way, shape, or form, really. I have just been pursuing comfort. And I'm just never going to get better if that's what I continue to do forever. I need to be able to challenge myself within reason. So, with all of that said, that is the basis of this challenge that we're doing. We are picking a certain number of things that we're going to be doing in January that directly invoke discomfort or fear or even like a little bit of panic. And we're going to do them. We're going to survive them. And we're probably going to realize for at least a number of them that it's not really that big of a deal in the first place. And in facing those fears and, living to tell the tale, we will inherently build confidence. And I think we're going to build confidence this way much faster than what I've been doing in just making these tiny little changes kind of within myself at home. So what am I going to be doing? Our friend Jimmy in Discord, formerly known as Beated, it was his idea, and he's doing 30 days. And if you're in the Discord or if you're interested, I highly recommend checking out his 30-day thread. I'm really excited to see how he does. I committed to 15 days because, like I mentioned in my last video, I have that dental surgery right at the beginning of the month that I'm quite stressed about. And I think I just don't think I would be able to do 30 days. And I think that would inherently hurt the confidence building aspect of this challenge. So for January, I'm doing 15 days. I'd like to do the challenge again later in the year and do 30. And also because of the dental surgery, I'm doing 15 events, and I might double up a few days. So I don't know if it'll actually be 15 days, but it's 15 things that scare me. They're not all social because, like I mentioned, I am afraid of other things too that make it difficult to live a normal life, like driving or even really just like leaving the house and being in public. But these are my 15 things. So number 1 is I have a doctor's appointment that I have to go to. Number 2 is my dental surgery, and number 3 is my dental surgery follow-up appointment. So those are 3 things that I sort of have no choice in the matter, but they are things that make me uncomfortable, so I'm counting them. I really want to go to this community art event. It's a free community art event in my town called First Friday. This is going to be right after my dental surgery, so I'm really going to try to push myself to do it. But one really big goal of mine for myself and my confidence in just living a fulfilling life is being able to participate in the local art community. I think that would really, really bring a lot of satisfaction to my life. So that's how I want to start getting into that. I want to eat in at a sit-down restaurant by myself. I love the idea of doing this, but I feel like I'm never brave enough to do it. And also go see a movie alone. And my caveat here is, because I've done this before, but the caveat here is no pre-ordering anything online ahead of time, because that's normally what I'll do. I'll buy the ticket and order my snacks ahead of time, so I literally don't have to interact with a person. But I want to go up to the counter to order my ticket and to order my snacks and see a movie by myself. That sounds relaxing and fun. I want to take my dogs for a walk on campus. This is something that I used to do when I just had one dog, who was friendly. We have a big yard now, so we typically play fetch to entertain the dogs. We don't really go for walks anymore because Archie is stranger danger. He survived the vet, by the way. So yeah, but he doesn't freak out unless somebody grabs at him. So it's just, I avoid it because it's awkward for me if somebody asks can I pet your dog? And then I have to be actually no. he doesn't want that. It just makes me feel awkward, but I think it would be good for all of us to get out for a walk, so I want to do that. I want to take my car through the car wash. This one probably sounds stupid as hell, but I have driving anxiety, and when I take my car out somewhere, you guys, it is point A to point B to point A. I use Google Maps still in a town that I've lived in for years a lot of the time. I don't like driving. I don't like making unnecessary stops, and car washes stress me out because I don't know. Car washes stress me out. Ask to hang my freelance advertisement in a local business. So this is a big one that I've really been wanting to do for a long time, but makes me so uncomfortable and so nervous and so cringy. But I want to make a poster basically with the little tags that people can rip off and go into one of our local coffee shops or something like that and ask if I can hang it up. And ideally, I would like to do this in a couple of places, but I'm just starting with one because I'm scared. I want to go for a walk downtown by myself. This is something that I used to love doing when I lived in a smaller town. It's very relaxing and peaceful. I think it's good for mental health. But I'm scared of this town, kind of. It's not like a big city, but it's a city for me. And I don't know. I'm scared of my own shadow. I'm afraid of men, if I'm being honest. I'm just like all men that I don't know. And, no offense to all the men out there, I'm sure some of you are harmless, but I just get so much anxiety walking by myself, even in the middle of the day, in the middle of town, and I really want to get over that because that's keeping me, it's like really contributing to my agoraphobia, and I just need to get over it. Call the dentist for an implant estimate. I'm going to talk about my 2024 goals later, but one of them is to replace one of my 2 missing teeth. And the dentist that would do the implant is not the same one that is doing my dental surgery, so I can't ask them about it when I'm there. I have to call and ask them, and that one isn't that hard, but it is kind of hard because I hate phone calls so much. So I've been putting that off forever and ever, and I'm going to do that in January. I have to take Atlas to the vaccination clinic. So again, Archie just went in for a surgery. Luckily, we were able to get all his vaccines done, but I had been putting off the dog's vaccines specifically because of Archie. And our regular vet that we go to for things like that, I don't know if it's just my town or what, but you cannot get a regular veterinary appointment within like 8 months. Every time we take somebody to the vet, it has to be a very expensive urgent care appointment because they just don't have regular appointments available. So I don't want to take Atlas to an urgent care appointment just to get vaccinated. So I have to take him to this very stressful vaccine clinic situation. And we've done it before, but it was like some of the most stressful shit ever. So I've really been putting that off, but Atlas still needs his vaccines, so we're gonna do that. Or maybe we can take him to like a Tractor Supply or a Petco or something, but either way, I have to get his done. I want to visit with my professors from the school that I graduated from this year and collect art that I left there. My senior show art pieces are still there from the spring because my avoidant ass just like, I left that school on the last day of school and thought to myself, like, that's it, never going back in there again. And then it's like the longer that I've waited, the more awkward I feel about having left stuff there. And I'm nervous about going back and telling them that like I haven't found a real job yet, or that I haven't really been keeping up with my cyanotype stuff. I just feel very awkward. I just feel awkward. But I want to do that. I want to go to a coffee shop or library to work a couple of days. Again, that's not stressful in like a social way, but it's just being out in the world when I could be at home is something that I really want to practice a lot this year, is going out. It's like, I think, so my dogs have separation anxiety from me because I never leave, like I'm always with them, but just as valid is that I have separation anxiety from them. Like, if I'm away from them and away from this house for a couple of hours, all I can think about is getting back home to them. So I want to work on that because I want to be a person that goes out and lives her life and is not just in the house with the dogs all day. And finally, the big one, the finale, is I mentioned in a video long ago that early this year, when I was posting my cyanotypes on Instagram, I had a local art gallery from a town, like it's like 45 minutes away, I think, reach out to me and offer to let me show some cyanotypes in their studio. And it's a tiny little like gallery / gift shop situation. It's not like this big pretentious art gallery or anything. It's like a very small little situation. I've never been there, but from what I understand. And and I basically ghosted them, and then I quit making cyanotypes, and it was all a very big disappointment for me, because it was like I had the chance and then I panicked. And there's a very possible chance that ship has sailed, and that's fine. But regardless, I really want to challenge myself to go to that gallery and potentially introduce myself and sort of say, hey, sorry, life got busy. But I just wanted to like come see what you guys were up to and like introduce myself and see the space. And regardless of whether or not that leads to anything, I think that is just something that I want to do. But that's out of everything on this list that terrifies me the most. But again, I think it's really important for me and my well-being to get involved in the art community here. I really want to do that. And that's going to be an important step in doing that, I think. So those are my 15 things. Again, I might double up a couple of days, like take myself to a dinner and then a movie date or something like that. But I am aiming to vlog some of it. Of course, vlogging in public is then a step up in the discomfort. That I don't know how much I'm going to be able to do that. I will do it where I can. But I'll be updating all the time in the Discord. If you're interested in following along with like the whole thing. And Jimmy's post, I'm really excited. You guys, I highly recommend following Jimmy's January as well. So beyond January, what are my goals for this year? Like I said, I'm really, really hoping to find a way financially to replace one of my missing teeth. I'm fine without it, but for my physical and mental health, I think it's just something that I want to do. It's just something that I want to do. But beyond that, I want to continue posting on YouTube all year. Probably not at the same rate that I've been posting at the end of this year. I think eventually I'm going to run out of things to talk about, if we're being honest. But this community is very important to me and has been instrumental in getting me this far. So I want to continue to exist within this community this year. And most importantly, probably my biggest goal for the year is to work on my relationship with food. I mention this all the time, but I struggle with binge eating. I'm an emotional eater. I'm a volume eater. I'm a snacker. And it's gotten to a really, really unhealthy place again. It kind of always has been, but I just want to get that under control. I don't know exactly what I need to do that yet, but I'm looking into that, and that's going to be a big focus of this year. Not my weight, but my relationship with food. And hopefully, my weight will work itself out in that process, but it's this like addiction to food and snacking that I really want to get under control. And then finally, I think to close out this video, I just want to mention a few of the things that I'm proud of for 2023. There aren't a lot. It wasn't a great year. It was a pretty bad year for most of the year, but there were a few highlights, and so I'm going to mention that. Number one was me coming back to YouTube and making the Discord and feeling like I've found this little community of people that understand me. I'm very proud of myself for doing that, and I'm just happy. I'm just happy to have it, and that's definitely like a major highlight for me this year. Because of that, I sold my first and second cyanotype, which is exciting. It's exciting for me that anybody cares about that, and as somebody who has aspired to be an artist forever, that feels good, even if it's kind of a small thing. It feels big to me. Although I kind of regret not letting myself celebrate it and not feeling worthy of the celebration, I did graduate college this year at 29 years old. I went back a few years ago after many years of thinking that I never would, and I did it. I graduated college. I have a degree. I have a lot of student debt that ended up not being canceled, so thank you, United States of America. I really appreciate that. But I'm proud that I did that. And I quit smoking weed. I'm still sober, and I don't really have any plans to stop that. And after many years of a heavy dependence on that, that's also something for me to be proud of. So yeah, it wasn't a complete wash. There were some good things that came out of this year. So that's it for today. Please consider joining the Discord if you haven't. That link will be below. And even if you don't want to join the Discord, leave a comment down below and tell me 5 things that you want to do in January that scare you. What are you going to do to challenge yourself? They don't have to be big. They don't have to be big. None of mine are really that big. They're small steps. I'm not trying to... That's just, in this journey I've learned there's no point in trying to tackle everything at once and become a different person overnight. They can be small things, but all these little small things that we do eventually add up over time. So think of a few small things that you're going to do to challenge yourself, and let me know down below. Until then, or until the next one, I love you guys. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.